Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue working on the 3RACING M4 Sport Kit. And as you can see, we're going to continue working on part 2 of section 10, the RC unit installation. We're going to be installing the ESC, the motor, and the transmitter receiver. I have the leftover parts from bag 8. We got the screws over here. We got some of the battery bracket parts right here. We have the double-sided tape. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction manual first, see what we'll be working with. So first part, we're going to install the receiver and the ESC, then we'll work on the motor. Just a quick note, you are going to need your own pinion gear for this part of the build, and it specifies a 28 tooth pinion gear. I don't have a 28 tooth pinion gear, I do have a 29 tooth. All right, let's take a look at the electronics I'm going to be using. And this is a Team Associated Reedy Blackbox 600Z G2 ESC. So this is not a very big ESC. So the wires are already pre-soldered, which is good. We're probably going to have to trim these. This is pretty long. And we are going to need to solder on our own battery terminals, and which is going to be a consideration of the battery as well. We'll talk about that. So like I said, this is not a terribly big ESC, which is great. The chassis is quite small. And let's take a look at the motor. Again, this is a Reedy Sonic 540 FT fixed timing, and this is a 17.5 turn motor. I've used this motor before for my Tamiya Championship series builds. So those are the electronics. Now let's take a look at the ESC configuration that they suggest, which I am probably not going to do. So in this diagram, they say to put the receiver like this, and then mount the ESC vertically, but as you can see, one, I don't like the way it looks, and two, it's going to be quite cramped. The motor is going to be right here. I just simply don't have room for that configuration. So instead, I'm going to have the receiver up here and the ESC over here, and the motor like that, and then I will solder on the wires this way, which I'm going to trim quite a bit. And the battery is going to be on this side, so I'll probably trim these as well a little bit, and so I can plug in the battery this way. All right, so let's go ahead and start. I'm going to tape this down. I'm going to leave this kind of open because I'm going to have to solder this. But so let's do this first real quick. Now let's go ahead and kind of dry fit where the motor is going to be, and we'll go from there. And here's my 29 tooth pinion gear, and I already have the grip screw on, so there's a flat side here, and I'm just going to put this on. Not going to be the final position. So I usually like the terminals facing straight up. So let's see, we're going to need 2 of these M3 6mm screws, which I'm going to guess is going to be these 2 right here. So I know the motor is going to be this way, and I know this is going to be one of the screws. So let's put this on there. Then I'm going to slide it in. I don't know if you can see that. but it slides in to that groove right there. And then from here, I can barely see. I actually cannot see. Okay, there we go. Let me just try to tighten this one. Okay. And then now I can so it might be really hard to see, but there is one screw right here. There's the pinion gear and the gear mesh, and then through the pulley gear right here, you actually have to put the driver through the pulley gear to tighten the other motor screw. And that's why I had to put the motor screw onto the motor first, slide it into the mount, and then tighten it. That is a little bit challenging there. So let's work on this side. So we need 2 spacers and a flathead washer, and I've separated those. Here we go. Just those 2 and washer, and it's going to be a 12mm screw. So there's this one, which I think is the 18mm, and then there's this one, which should be the 12, because these are flathead screws. And then this assembly is going to go right there. And then this side is 3 of these bigger ones. Plus a small washer. And this is going to go up here. Okay. Let's see. So Servo's going to reach the receiver, no problem. I don't think I'll have any trouble with the ESC either. So I think I'm going to go this way. Give the motor as much space as you can for heating. I usually don't like things touching. So I think I'll just butt it up against there. Right there. So I think first I'll just use a pair of scissors. Okay. Clean enough cut. Right. So now I can go soldering. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, let's get the ESC down. That's about the same. Okay, now let's take a look at the 2 battery wires, and to do that, let's work on the next page first. I hope I can use this one, but I have others if it doesn't work. I also have this much more, it's a little bit lower profile. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm hoping to be able to use either one of these. So I'm going to need these battery locks, which is probably going to be this. Battery tray spacers, probably going to be that. Probably going to be, battery mount's going to be this. And battery holder is going to be that. And the battery tray plate, which is going to be this, obviously. Right, we need 2 screws for the battery mount. probably going to be these two button heads. All right, we need 2 from the top, 12 millimeter, probably going to be these two. And then we need 4 flat heads from the bottom, which is going to be that. And I honestly don't know which way is going to be which, so I think it's going to be, let's do top down. So let's do these 2 screws and the battery lock. And let's see, which way does it go? Does it go this way or the other way? I think it goes like this. So it's going to be one here, like that, with the spacer, and then the battery mount. It's going to go like this. There's a screw that goes in there. I don't know why yet, but we'll see. I've got this side, or it could be the other side. I don't know yet. We'll see. So let's grab this. Okay. These wires are going to be there, so maybe everything goes to the back. It'll be better. So battery's going to be this way. All right, so from this side, these are the same. We're going to come from the bottom, these 2 holes. Okay, so let's line it up. And let's see, this is going to fit. All right. So I guess with these spacers in the back, you can get it a little bit closer to the belt if you had a wider battery, slightly wider. But it looks like this is going to be a good fit for me, this particular notch. At least for this battery. Let's see other batteries. Yeah. This one has a little bit more. Oh, I think it's fine. So I think that's what it's going to be. All right. So like that. Here, let's put this together. All right, so there is a lot of play here, and I think that's where those screws come in. Those screws here and there. Yeah, this is not my favorite battery tray of all time. I don't think 3RACING is really known for their battery trays anyway. I really didn't like the D4 or the D5 battery tray. I don't recall much about the other car, the XI. Okay. All right, when you get it just right, it's pretty tight. It's pretty snug. It does take a lot of adjustments to get it right. Even when you do, I guess that's gonna have to do. So I'll probably be battling that battery tray for a little while. This is a little bit loose. See, I don't know if you can see, but there's about a millimeter of space there. Okay. But anyway, so I think I'm just going to leave these. I'm not going to trim these at all. I think I'll just solder the terminals onto here directly without having to cut these. So that's it. Let's get to the soldering, and I'll show you what that looks like after we're done. All right, we're done soldering the ESC to the motor. I've also soldered the connectors to the battery wire. I've connected the ESC and the servo to the receiver, and I've tucked in the wires in between for now. And we're done with section 10, the RC unit installation. In the next video, we're going to install the front and rear body post. We're going to glue the tires and then also mount the body, and then we're done with this kit. So thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.